922 traffic.
Our camera catches a Hitchcock police officer pulling over a suspected drunken driver.
1019 for 915.
The driver is given a field sobriety test. He apparently fails and is handcuffed. He sees a chance to run for it, and run he does, but he doesn't get far.
947, we're going to have one on the ground. We just got him in custody at this time. We'll be in the middle of roadway of 6.
You would think cops would throw the book at him, including a charge of driving while intoxicated. But we later learn he's not charged with DWI. He's given a lesser offense, public intoxication. We ask the Hitchcock police chief, how can this be?
Not everyone who operates a car, is DWI just because they've had a couple of drinks.
But then you would turn around and say that they're publicly intoxicated?
If they were there's a lot of exigent circumstances to that.
Even if they're not violating the spirit of the law, I think they're violating the spirit of their oath.
According to Fox legal expert and part-time municipal judge Brian Weiss, what we witnessed is not allowed by state law.
The law is plain and unambiguous that the lesser offense of public intoxication is not, as the penal code says, a form or lesser form of driving while intoxicated.
922 traffic.
It may not be allowed, but we saw it happen over and over again. Fox 26 observed a number of traffic stops by Hitchcock police last month, and in each case, according to police reports, the driver was charged with public intoxication. There was not one DWI.
Well, absolutely, they're circumventing the law.
The head of Mothers Against Drunk Driving thinks they're going around the law so the city can pocket more money. More on that in a minute. The public intoxication charge is meant for drunks in public places, not for drunks behind the wheel. According to records obtained by Fox 26 Investigates, during the last 16 months, 689 public intoxication cases have been filed in Hitchcock. During that same period, only 53 DWI cases were filed.
Why so many? Why so many public intoxication charges here?
The chief couldn't muster an answer. 689 public intoxication charges may not sound like that many, but less than 6,000 people live in this Galveston County city.
Those are big numbers, so I think that it's a good question that could be asked of law enforcement as to their rationale behind it.
Are that many people walking around this city drunk?
No, like I said, I just allow the officers to make the determination of the case that they can make in court.
It is just simply a money-making little industry for these small cities, and it's wrong.
Again, Mad says you have to keep your eye on the money. In this case, fine money. In every public intoxication case we observed, the fine was $349. So during the last 16 months, it's estimated Hitchcock may have collected as much as $240,000 in fines, and every cent went to the city. But if those same suspects had been charged with DWI, all that cash would have gone to the county.
You know that public intoxication cases, that money, all that fine money is going to the city of Hitchcock.
I don't have any personal knowledge of where that money goes. I'm not in the financial end of that.
I don't believe that the city or the officer is motivated and thinking when he's out there dealing with the public that this charge should be given so that we keep the money here in our city.
We were coming from Mardi Gras, coming home on Highway 6, and I got pulled over by a police officer in Hitchcock.
Miguel Gomez was charged with public intoxication while driving through Hitchcock in February. He says that he wasn't drinking that night and that police refused to give him a breathalyzer test.
I was outraged by, that I was driving and I didn't get a breathalyzer test to prove that I wasn't drunk. And I got a PI and not a DWI.
But the police chief told us all suspects who ask for a breathalyzer test get one. Fox 26 Investigates was here when some public intoxication defendants had their day in municipal court. One of those defendants was Miguel Gomez.
Gomez questioned why was he arrested for public intoxication when he was driving a car. The judge, the prosecutor, and the arresting officer told him they were giving him a break.
Every officer in the United States, not just the city of Hitchcock, makes the call whether he charges a person with public intoxication or driving while intoxicated while out on the streets.
But that's not true. The Houston Police Department has this policy. Under no circumstance will a lesser charge be filed merely as a matter of convenience. For example, a charge of public intoxication will not be filed if the actual offense is DWI. The policy for the Texas Department of Public Safety dictates troopers must go with the higher offense. In a driving offense, we are not even going to consider public intoxication. The main reason for that is if a drunken driver is charged with public intoxication, there's no DWI conviction on his record.
Who in their right mind is going to complain as a defendant about being given this monumental break?
That person laughs all the way to the next beer joint if they're going to have another beer.
But Hitchcock police insist they are not breaking the law, and they will continue to charge some drivers with public intoxication instead of DWI. Meanwhile, some drivers, like Miguel Gomez, will be finding a new way home from the beach.
I'd rather wait in traffic coming down 45 instead of going through Highway 6. I will never go through Hitchcock ever again.